So, greetings, everyone who is on the call with me at this moment and those who will see it later. We are here to celebrate all the main amazing things that are happening simultaneously on this day, including Buddha's birthday, death, and enlightenment celebration. It's called the Wesak. It always happens on the full moon in Taurus every year. It is also Saint Germain's Ascension Day. It is also Beltane, which is a celebration between um, of the midpoint between the equinox and the solstice, which relates a lot to spring, and it's called the flower moon. So we have those images of all those beautiful flowers coming up now. And really, the joy that the flowers bring us, the joy and the beauty of Venus, right? Um, Venus actually rules Taurus. And Venus is all about abundance, it's about joy, it's about beauty, it's about the divine feminine. So all of that energy is really coming in today. And then we have the Scorpio full moon exactly on the day. And that is more about like taking us into, in some sense, the underworld, but basically it's just Scorpio wants to know the truth. It really wants to dig deep. It wants to have intimate conversations, not superficial, but that really reveal the truth. So here we are on this amazing day when so many juxtapositions are happening at the same time. So it's quite exciting to really be present here, to be present here now, to just receive what the planets and the planetary alignments have for us, what the significance of all these other events have for us, what the numerology looks like. We're going to touch into quite a bit. And as we go along, I'm going to be projecting my essential oil blends to you, just to help us all make adjustments and to come up higher and to recalibrate. So that's where we're going. And let's just start now by putting one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, closing your eyes, just taking a breath, and just blow out whatever's been in your day so far, whatever you have left to do. Feeling your feet on the floor and your hand on the belly, just grounding you into the physical body. Perhaps just noticing what's happening in your body right now. Where are you feeling tight? Are you holding your breath? Can you breathe deeply? What's happening? What is your body telling you in this very moment? With my hand on my heart and my hand on the belly, I always tell my inner child when I wake up in the morning, I'm here with you and I'm not going anywhere. So let's just do that 3 times. Tell yourself and your inner
I'm
child,
here
I'm
with
here with
you
you
and
and I'm
I'm
not going anywhere.
correct.
I'm
Correct.
here with you and I'm not going anywhere.
I'm here with you and I'm not going.
And if you just notice that what happens when you do that is like if you've been carrying anxiety or holding your breath, it's just like your inner child goes, okay, I'm being held. I'm okay now, right? And the second thing I like to do with this is just like take your hands and give yourself a big hug. So you're hugging your inner child. Just tell your inner child now, you are lovable and I love you. Just like you were holding your child in your lap and you got your arms around it and you're like just like rocking a bit. I love you, just nestling into the ear of your inner child. I love you. And the next part is just crossing over at your shoulders and just acknowledging the gifts that you bring. You are so precious and beautiful. You are so compassionate, kind, and loving. You show up in so many ways for friends in your life, whatever it is that you can truly say about yourself. Just tell your inner child, love on her a little bit. Yeah. And then when we bow our heads with our hands crossed over our shoulders, this is the honoring of everyone else on the call and who will ever see it, all beings on earth, what each person brings to the party. Yes. Well, now I'm just going to go into the invocation, bring in the ascended masters, the angels, the beings of light. So if you choose, you can place your hands in prayer position at the heart. When you bow your head, it makes this arc between the crown and the heart and creates a circuit. I call forth now 144 Hathor guardians and 88 Hathor gatekeepers. Take your places. Beloved Alpha and Omega, Helios and Vesta, God and Goddess Meru, come. Lord Maitreya, come. Gautama Buddha, come. 5 Dhyani Buddhas, place your presence here with us. Beloved Isis and Osiris, Yeshua, Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Avalokiteshvari, Cosmic Mother Mary, Queen of Heaven, come. Archangel Raphael. Archangel Metatron and Lord Melchizedek, Isis, Thoth, Anubis, Sekhmet, Ptah, Nut, and Geb, and Horus. Saint Germain and Portia, Pallas Athena, and Lady Liberty, the Great Karmic Board. Sanat Kamara and Lady Master Venus. Serapis Bey, El Morya Katumi, and Dwa Kul. Lord Lanto and Confucius, Nada, Hilarion, Paul the Venetian. Sananda Sanada, the Ashtar Command. Your own twin flame and soulmate families, your star ancestors, Assyrians, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Lyrians, and the 12 star systems that are overlighting and holding space with Lady Gaia for this planetary ascension. So we call in now the dolphins, the whales, the unicorns, the dragons, the mer people. The 2-legged ones, the 4-legged ones, the creepy crawly ones, the winged ones, the tree and plant beings, the crystals and the mineral beings, the ascended master realm, the angelic realm, and the Lemurians living in the heart of the earth. We connect now to the 144 aspects of our own I Am presence, 12 in each of the dimensions. We open now to connecting to the specific planetary alignments at this moment of this Scorpio new moon. The moon and the sun at 11 degrees. The sun is at 11 degrees of Taurus. The moon is at 11 degrees of Scorpio. Mercury in Aries, Venus in Gemini, Mars in Aries, Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn in Aries, Uranus in Gemini, Neptune is in Aries, and Pluto is in Aquarius. Chiron is in Aries, and Lilith is in Saturn. The north and the south nodes are in Pisces. So just giving gratitude, and just we call in the placements, the specific placements and the frequencies of these planets as they overlight and really create the pattern and the energies of this Scorpio full moon. And when we invite them in now as consciousness, the consciousness that overlights each of these planets, we're just going to call them now to create a circle around our sacred circle, holding space with us to actually receive the gifts that they bring, and transmitting to us the understandings of these gifts. And just in your innermost parts of your being, just say right now to these planets, to these alignments, thank you, I receive it all. Thank you, I receive it all. Thank you, I receive it all. Just welcoming in, maybe even putting your arms up in the air, like reaching up. The very fact that you are here today, the fact that you are listening to this recording, is really saying to the cosmos, I am here to receive it all. And I am grateful. For I know that nothing that occurs in my world is random. It's all created to help me move forward in my soul's evolution. And I say yes, yes, yes. And I am willing to to overcome the resistance and to receive it all. Take a breath. I'm going to project that blend opening to the infinite. And this just places us in that space of being willing to open to that which is being given and offered. So now let's just take a look at what's happening in the stars, what's happening out there in this day, what we can see from the positions, what we can see from the numerology. So, Scorpio new moon occurred at 10:23 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 6:23 p.m. Universal Time. So it's already occurred. We are sitting in that energy. Just a couple hours ago was when it occurred. So we're sitting in the peak of the energy, and really actually the beginning of the release of the energy. So full moons are always about releasing, and this full moon is mega about that because Scorpio really wants to uncover the secrets. It really wants us to let go of what we've been holding on to that really doesn't serve us anymore. And really this whole month of April with all of the 7 planets in Aries, and Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, the sign of the new beginnings. All of this has been the perfect setup, right, to get us to this point where we are now at the Scorpio new moon. So the day, numerologically, May 1st, 2026, reduces to a 16, which reduces to a 7. And in the Tarot, the 7 is the Chariot. So it really is a signal about moving forward. If we look at the numerology, the 1 is the sovereignty, the 6 is the divine feminine. So we have that 16, the sovereign, divine feminine, moving into and reducing to the 7 about moving forward. And May, the month of May, as numerologically, is a number 15, which is really about spiritual alchemy, and Tanya Gabrielle says about enchantment. So I love that word enchantment, because we were speaking about the intensity of April and everything that we've gone through, but May is like, it's bringing us, the full moon in May is actually called the flower moon. So it's, if we go to the love of the flowers and the beauty of the flowers, you know, the sun is in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is all about the divine feminine and all about the beauty and the harmony. So we have, when we read each one separately, then we get a composite of like, okay, what is happening in this month? And the theme for the month of May is joy. So, you know, we also have some other things, like it's celebrated as Mother's Day, the divine feminine. It's celebrated with, you know, Mother Mary's Day. So there's so many things about May that make it just so sweet and such a soft place, right? So as we've spoken about, you know, Beltane, Saint Germain's Ascension Day, Wesak Day, Wesak, the celebration of Buddha's life, birth, and enlightenment. Birth, death, and enlightenment are all coming in on this day. That's known as Wesak. And then we have the Scorpio full moon, which is just bringing us multiple energies on top of all of that. So it's a day of, well, how about multidimensionality, right? It's layers upon layers upon layers of frequency, of meaning. It really reminds us that each and every day of our life is not just one day. It's all connected in so many ways and so many cycles, to our past, to our present, to our future, to everybody out there. And we were speaking earlier before the call began about how when we make a change in our life, it ripples out, it changes everybody, right? So the higher the frequency of joy and integration and harmony that we can hold at any one time is rippling out into the whole planetary body, you know? And there's no shame about being in a place that doesn't feel so good, that may feel like darkness, or no shame or guilt about being in a place that feels really high in the midst of others who are not, right? So we have to understand that we are all here to serve each other, right? And whatever we bring to the plate is important. But it's true that everybody has cycles in our lives where we're up, sometimes we're down, you know, and we're holding the space for each other, just like we do in families. When something happens in your family that's really a big stressful event, when you can hold it from a higher frequency and vibration, you're holding it for everybody. And then in turn, you know, when you might go under and down a little bit, somebody else holds it for you. So this is what we're doing on planet Earth. This is what we've all been doing forever, in the truth of the matter, because we're all here to serve each other. And we are moving out of the time of competition, and we are moving into the time of the Great Golden Age, Saint Germain's Great Golden Age, which is about supporting the whole. It's about creating structures and financial systems and spirituality and social systems that actually hold the highest and best for everyone within the collective. So those of you on this call and those of you doing this work, we are the pioneers in this, of holding this higher frequency, of releasing that which we have grown up with that does not really serve the whole, whether that comes through our own ancestors, or it comes through our culture, or it comes through the beliefs that we've been told through our parents. It's time to let all of that go, because you know what? It's not real, and it doesn't have anything to do with us, with who we are, or where we're going, right? Because we are here as star seeds, right? We are not of this world. Jesus said, "You are not of this world, even as I am not of the world." That was his statement, that he came from another star system, and that we have come from another star system. He didn't have the words to say, "You are star seeds," but he said, "You are not from this world," right? So what does that mean? We're not from this planet. We have come from other star systems, and we're here to hold the light, to be the light, to anchor the light, to grow and evolve ourselves, but to also transmit this light to the collective so that the collective grows. So here we are again, another embodiment on planet Earth, but this is the most important embodiment of all of our embodiments of planet Earth, because it's like the opus magnum. It's like the most important, right? Because it's really when we collectively create massive change on the planet. So this moon is ruled by Pluto, which is all about transformation and transmutation. And what I love about Saint Germain's Ascension Day is Saint Germain brought us back the violet flame in the 1930s for us to be able to use it to transmute the lower frequencies into higher frequencies. And this is like, you can apply it in every way. I'm sure everybody on this call knows about the violet flame. So this being Saint Germain's Ascension Day is just reminding us to use it, right? We have it for a purpose. We can use it collectively, in the collective, to create change, and we can use it in our own personal lives. So this is an important part of transformation, is doing that alchemical work. And also with that number 15 of May of this universal day being 15, this brings up the spiritual alchemy. So as star seeds, we are here to do spiritual alchemy for ourselves and on the planet. Actually 24/7, right? This is what our lives are about. So at the time of the full moon, the sun was in Taurus at 11 degrees 20 minutes, and the moon was in Scorpio at 11 degrees 20 minutes. So there we have the 11 portal, which is the ascension portal, right? And 1 is the number of sovereignty, 1 with of you as the human self being totally connected and into alignment with your I am presence. Sovereignty, unbeholden to no one. You don't have to give your power away to anyone, because you are fully empowered as you connect to your own divinity, your own I am presence. And this is what they took away from us with religion, right? Is they took away that understanding that we don't have to go through a priest to pray for us, or somebody else to take our prayers to heaven. We have that direct connection at any moment. So there's a T-squared of Pluto between Taurus and the moon. And what this does is it brings attention to this astrology. It's like before, when we were talking before we started the recording, it was brought up, there's a tension in the air, things are feeling strong, that that feeling of being squeezed. I think the planet Saturn is like squeezing all of us because it's the planet of accountability and of karmic return, right? So where we haven't been in alignment, that's being brought to our attention. We have this inner feeling from our own soul that now it's time to move forward and to really come into a greater alignment with our destiny, with what we're being called to do. So personally, for me, the Aries new moon, which was on April 17th, was directly on my birthday. It was directly on the degree of my sun, which was 27 degrees. And there were 7 planets in Aries at that moment. So that's a lot of fire. Saturn and Neptune being there are just, they've just moved in on February 20th. And this is a whole recalibration on a planetary level. But all those planets in fire in Aries, the key word for Aries is I am. So which is sovereignty, and it's the first house of the astrology. It's about new beginnings. So all of this is saying we are in a time of mega new beginnings. It's time to move forward. Whatever it is that your soul's been calling you to do that you've been resisting, it's time to move on that. And this moon is bringing up our fears, right? It's bringing up what we've tried to hide, what we didn't want to see in relationships within ourselves, and really, bringing those fears to the surface, not to punish us, but so we can take a look at them, and come to alchemize them into the highest aspect and come to that place that we can just release the fears and go, you know what? I'm always protected. I'm always protected. Just feel how that feels. I'm always protected. Repeat after me. I'm always protected. The universe has my back. I am here for a purpose. I choose me. The time is now. It's my turn. Just receive that. I'm going to give you the blend, honoring the truth within, for that one. Receive it, breathe it in. And just let it land. So what is the truth that maybe you've been avoiding inside of yourself, that you haven't wanted to see, that's just sort of coming to the surface again? The truth about who you are, the truth about your relationships, the truth about how you're being called to move forward. What is it? These are like all bubbling to the surface now, right? So that we can see them, so we can receive them, so that we can come into the next higher alignment with our soul. The other thing that right now planetarily is that all the planets are moving forward until May 6th. So we have this moment of opportunity to take steps moving forward, to make commitments to ourselves, to bring things into a greater alignment as a foundation for our life, right? So, a lot of energy there, right? Yeah, so especially if in your birthday cycle, there's just before your birthday cycle, you have a lot of tests coming up, right? Because it's your final exams of the year or whatever. But we don't have to look at that as a negative thing. We can go, wow, this is just the finishing up before my new beginning, And this is so important. Where we let our mind go is where our energy goes, right? So we can always reframe it as whatever's happening in our life is, oh, that's the worst thing happening, or wow, it's the greatest opportunity, right? And can you feel the difference in that shift? I mean, it's like immediate when we do that. So there's it's called the finger of God, or Yod, between Venus sextile Saturn that points to the moon, with the sun as the handle. And Venus is the ruler of where the sun is right now in Taurus. And we spoke about that a little bit earlier. Venus being beauty, love, the divine feminine. It connects to our home environment. It connects to the nourishment of the mother, and really like the beauty that we see around us in spring here in the northern hemisphere, of all those beautiful flowers re-emerging, and the joy that that brings us. So let's just place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And just feel the renewal that's really coming up inside of ourselves as the result of the month of Aries, and how the seeds that were planted as new beginnings at that time are now sitting somewhat in the darkness underneath the soil, and some of them have come up and sprouted. And just go to that image of all of those spring flowers and the brilliant colors and the joy that it brings to you to just behold the majesty and magnitude of beauty and of sacred geometry in nature, in the flowers. And now go to that realization that that sacred geometry is also in you. That you have a divine blueprint that's sacredly aligned with who you are, with what you've come to do, with your contract with life. And just let that land in great appreciation for yourself, for who you are, for how brave it was that you were to come to Earth. Yeah. So Pluto sort of creating in that T-square is like creating the tension that takes the Scorpio aspect of wanting to dive deeper. It's like what it fuels the Scorpio aspect, right? So the finger of God is fueled by Saturn, the ruler of time, the disciplinarian, we think of him as Father Time, like the old guy holding that space of foundation, right? Destiny and karma. So there's this emphasis on, okay, what is my destiny? What is my legacy? What do I want to leave behind? And also the aspect of karma, but karma is not all negative karma. We all have sown great karma. We've served the planet so many times, and that's coming forth now too, right? So we are at that point where the finger of Yod is pointing towards the moon in Scorpio and creating an emotional experience as we go deep within. We go to letting go. We begin to see what is false and what is true and what we don't need anymore. We're seeing that really out in the outer world, right? We're seeing so much that was hidden for so long. And with this aspect of Taurus and Venus, it's really embracing what you love as the highest form of devotion. So people say, well, what is my purpose? And I just tell them, it's whatever you love, right? So for me, what I love is the sacred. I love beauty. I love the altars. I love the statues. I love ceremony. I love the sacred oils. So in my mission as a high priestess, all of those things come together at the same time. So if you can look at and, okay, what is my purpose? Do I love art? Do I love dance? Do I love music? What lights me up? And what is they're telling me composite, bringing all those things together is where you find your greatest joy in your sense of purpose. So, connecting back to embracing what you love is the highest form of devotion. I'm going to send you the blend, Love's Sacred Alchemy. So receive it now. Love's Sacred Alchemy. Receive it. And take the breath. And just remembering that 15 is the month's numerology of spiritual alchemy. We're really, and Saint Germain being all about alchemy. He had many lifetimes as the alchemist. Paracelsus was one of them. So just feeling now the sense that we can not only alchemize our past, but through our intentions, through our vision and through our focus, we are also alchemizing our future, because we're holding it for what we want to have see manifest as we are creating this golden age on planet Earth through our focus and through the attention that we hold. So Taurus, the sun in Taurus is really providing the light. It's shining the light on Scorpio, which is exposing the secrets, right? But Taurus is about our values, our wealth, our beauty. It's about abundance. So the Taurus Scorpio axis is the financial axis of the zodiac, right? So Taurus wants us to be secure. It loves finer things in life. It loves luxury, and it loves the earth. It's an earth sign. Scorpio is a water sign, and it is highly tied to our emotions, to also to investments, right? So we are in this time again where we are actually looking at our own value and the value that we bring through Taurus, and we are looking at our investments. Where we invested our energy, perhaps our money, where does that axis need to be modified? So for the sun in Taurus, I'm going to give you earth love, and this is, we are really being called, I think, at this time more than ever. There's all this chatter about AI and all the things that we can do with AI and all the ways that AI is going to help us. I've been taking some AI classes as we go along too. But what our soul is really calling us back to is the earth. To really grounding with nature, to appreciating the beauty that's here, grounding through our bodies and into the heart of the earth. So that blend is earth love. So just receive it now, earth love. Take the breath. Just for a moment, just create within your consciousness a scene that you love, a moment that you remember in nature. All right. So the Taurus-Scorpio axis is about security, survival, transformation, and about change, both as the resistance to change and the willingness to change, right? Because change is the only thing happening. And I love it now, for those of us who know about the new financial system that's coming in, that Taurus is about banking, wealth, and currency, and Scorpio is about investments. So those of us who are watching this for a long time, many astrologers say that it's really time for this financial shift on planet Earth, and which really comes in alignment. Nisara and Jisara comes in alignment with a basic income for everyone. It really begins to create a breathing space, right? Where we move out of struggle and we're more free to move into the giving of our gifts and creativity and spirituality. and really aligning our systems with that which works for the whole. So let's go to that place of the love from Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of abundance and wealth, and just see that image of her, with all of her arms and all of the coins coming down and all of the ways that she embodies the divine feminine of Mother Earth, that abundance and that gold. And let's just, in your mind's eye, receive that image of Lakshmi placing her presence over you. And if you place your hands out like mine are, just there to receive the abundance that's there for you in this moment. And we don't have to know how it comes in. We just have to say yes and be available. So the blend is love from Lakshmi. Receive it now. Breathe it in. And just see those golden coins coming down all around you infinitely. And let's see them pouring upon the planet. And let's take this moment right now. I have been anchoring the golden Buddha, Lord Maitreya, the coming Buddha who is coming, in sites around the world, along with my friend Diana, who first got the assignment. So just take a look at the planet and just see these golden Buddhas popping up all over at specific nodal points, anchoring the golden abundance of the golden age. And activating codes for the financial reset, to AnnRaNae, and to all the currencies coming to a one-to-one basis. So really all the evolutions of Earth can be free, no matter what country we're in, to be prosperous and have abundance in our lives. So what also might be coming up through this Scorpio square, the Pluto Scorpio square, is tensions in the world about power, about the misuse of power, about the right use of power. It's also bringing up power within us of how do we give our power away, and what are we called to do to step into our true, authentic empowerment? So sitting with that, sitting in nature, journaling, pondering on it, that is a really good thing to do during these 3 days of this full moon. So we have this strong desire for truth coming in, the truth within, the truth without. And the important thing in terms of the truth without is not to get so involved with the news, or don't go looking for it. I find that what I need to know actually comes to me, and I'm much less invested in going after it than I was just even a month or two ago. It's just no, I'm going to sit in the frequency of the Buddha. I'm going to hold that space of the Buddha in the city, totally connected to the heart of the earth, totally connected to my own I am presence and to the higher realms, totally aware of what's happening, perhaps in the world around me, but I'm holding it. My number one job is to hold it in peace and harmony, and to find the peace within inside, because that's what's going to take us through all of what we have yet to go through in this purging of that which is unreal on planet Earth, and even in the earth changes that are coming, because they are coming, right? So dissolving illusion, discovering my truth. So receive that. Dissolving illusion, discovering my truth. Receive it now. Take the breath and hold it. Let it land into the physical, the mental, the emotional, and memory bodies. Now just say to your I am presence, beloved I am presence, beloved higher self, I am willing and I am ready to receive the truth of my beingness, to jump out of the boxes that I have placed myself in, that my family and culture have placed me in, that I have assumed because I thought I was supposed to be there and play those roles. But now my soul is calling me to true authenticity, to perfect alignment with my North Star, my contract with life, and who I really am. So, beloved, I am presence. Show me, reveal to me who I am really. Show me my destiny path, and give me the courage to move forward in the ways that I am called by my soul into full alignment with my own divinity, being anchored through this physical body on Mother Earth. Take the breath on that, receive it. Whew. So, in the Bible it says, ask and ye shall receive. Well, so who are we asking? We're asking our own I am presence. We're asking the divinity, the all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present part of ourselves to clear the veils and help us remember down here in the physical body what is the truth of our being. So as we're willing to go to that place of releasing the resistance to being seen, to being authentic, to taking the next step, this full moon will help us release what we have outgrown and the ways that we have been staying invisible and staying small. So this is about that moment of releasing resistance. But how do we release that resistance? It could be the prayer, right? It could be, I have a sequence I take people through, beloved, I am presence. I don't know how to do it, but you do. So take my hand and take me there, right? And as soon as we give it up to our own I am presence, we get the answer immediately. We get the whole next step. And really, if you try working with this, it's like when I do that, when I lose something or I can't find it, I go, beloved, I am presence. I don't know where it is, but you do. So show me now, now, now. And then it just magically appears, sometimes in places that I looked a few times. But the I am presence is all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present. So this is what we need to keep looping back to, is like, I already have all the answers within. My I am presence knows it all. I just have to release the human control, desire to be in control, and try to figure it out from the human and just release it to spirit, and it will happen, right? So this is why I've named this transmission Giving It Up to Spirit, because when we give it up to spirit totally, truthfully, we are releasing that need to control that, we have learned from our culture, from our parents, through situations in our life that perhaps traumas that taught us that we had to be in control, that we had to be vigilant, that we had to have a plan in mind. So giving it up to spirit is just totally like let go and let God. Let go and let Goddess, right? Let's take a breath on that. And now I'm going to give you giving it up to spirit. So receive it. And holding it, and as you're holding it, what is it that your soul is calling you to release? What are you trying to figure out? What are you trying to manifest? What are you trying to make happen in the physical realm? Which is actually getting in the way of the manifestation and the grace and ease that your I Am Presence wants to give it to you with. And are you willing to just give it up? Beloved I Am Presence, I don't know how to do this, but you do. So give me the alignment. Bring in the people who are a part of the collaboration. Show me the next step. And let it be with the greatest ease possible. Yeah. Because where we put our attention is where the energy flows. So if we believe that it can be easy, if we believe that the universe is supporting it, if we believe that the next point of alchemy is just right out our door, that's how it'll be, right? But if we believe that it has to be hard, that's what will manifest. And I think this is one of the really most important things that we are learning in our collective right now is it's okay to ask for all we want. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to call in help in the physical and in the etheric, right? So we have to give ourselves permission, right, to have the good things in our life and to feel worthy for them, right? So this is a time when we're being asked to, with this Scorpio full moon and the emotions that go with it, also the heightened intuition, it's a time when we are being asked to become masters of our emotions instead of being enslaved by them, and to really look at where you're putting your mental energy, right? Because if you think, oh, things are so hard, it's never going to turn out for me, that's where you put your energy, right? And that's where it goes. But if you go, you know what? I don't know how it works, but I believe that everything always turns out for me. Then you actually, well, they just showed me this funny metaphor. It's like the champagne bottle that you're opening, right? When it has the cork in it, the bubbles can't come out. It can't flow with grace and ease. But as soon as you take the cork out, then all the bubbles and the joy and the grace and ease come out. So we have to remember, and take a look at ourselves. Where are we allowing our consciousness to remain about things in our life and about what we really want to bring into them? The Sabian symbol, which is a symbol for each degree of the zodiac. For Scorpio, 12 degrees, you always round it up, is an emissary ball. And let's just unpack that for a minute. An emissary ball, the people are so important, or they're in their finer clothes. They want to make an impression with each other, where they're totally concerned about the outer and whatever. But there's also that other aspect of the ball is joy. It's having fun. It's the dance of life, right? And so another aspect is okay, where we put on masks to appear to somebody in a certain way, or put on the costume or jumped in the box, that need to be released now, so we can just be totally who we are and be vulnerable to being seen truly for who we are. So this is another aspect of what we're being called to do in this moon. So we are being called, with the finger of God, Venus in Gemini and Saturn in Aries at 9 degrees, pointing towards the moon at 11 degrees. We are being called to dance with our own destiny, right? Venus is the harmony, the love, the abundance, the pleasure. Saturn is the karmic destined event about governing the time. But so all of these come together, time and beauty and the Divine Mother make up with this dance with destiny that we are all dancing. And I don't know about you, but myself and many people around me are going, okay, what is my legacy? What do I need to leave behind here in this lifetime? What have I promised I want to do that I would do that I haven't done yet? So I love this blend. It's called Dancing with Destiny. Receive it now. And take the breath. So when destiny, the word destiny comes in, and specifically your destiny, what comes up for you? Yeah. Catalyst angel in the storms. Yeah. So yeah, it's the catalyst, right? It's like we are being, there's a catalyst happening in our lives right now that's moving us forward, moving us towards our destiny, towards beauty, towards release of the old, towards release of control, and really into that moment of honoring the truth within, that we are a divine being here on this planet to anchor the light, to be the light, to receive the light, and to transmit the light. And as soon as you go to that place, whatever else has happened sort of comes into alignment, because that is the truth of our being. And Venus in Gemini is really giving us this moment where we are allowed to speak into being what you desire and to embody it as if it's already here. So I feel like this is really a key to this time of Venus in Gemini, is like giving ourselves permission to ask for what we truly want, to go to that place of true acknowledgement and alignment with, I can have it. If it's truly aligned with my desires, I can have it. And keeping the focus on what you really want rather than what you don't want to bring into your life. So the blend is miraculously manifesting unlimited creations. So receive it. Miraculously manifesting unlimited creations. Take the breath. And what is it that is the seeds that you planted in Aries at the Aries new moon that you really want to bring into the desires of your heart, that you really are calling into manifestation now at this particular point of your life? There's another aspect to this full moon chart where Mercury and Chiron are conjunct at 27 degrees of Aries at the full moon. So Chiron is the wounded healer and was the one who was, as an inner child, was totally wounded. And then as he healed his own wounds, he became the healer. So isn't that what we do? As we heal our own wounds, then we have this resource where we can actually heal the world by our own moving forward, and where we can be there in a greater measure for those around us to help them, to our family, to our friends, to whatever's happening in the world. The more we are aligned with our own wholeness, and each and every step we take on our own healing path, nothing is wasted. It's always about raising the whole. So during this time and during this next 6 months, we will have the opportunity to do deep inner child healing. So Mercury is about communication. Chiron is the wounded healer, as I've said, and this is about direct communication that brings healing. So this could bring up, situations in your life where in intimate relationships or in all kinds of relationships perhaps, that what's required is direct communication and really from the heart, right? Not from the point of you did this to me, but this is what happens to me when I hear you say that. And can you feel the difference? It's like not about the accusation, but it's about, this is me, I'm owning it, this is what happens to me. And in that way, you create a safe place for the other person to respond, right? So I think it's time when we may have to have some of the harder conversations to bring forth a balance of power within relationships. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. So the blend is finding me, healing the inner child. So I'm going to give you that. Finding me, healing the inner child. Take the breath. And each layer that you take off that isn't you reveals a more deeper level that is you. And it's important during this time of the intensity of this moon, that to be the observer of your own feelings. If you get triggered or somebody else gets triggered, to just take a breath, step back, be the observer and go, oh, isn't that interesting? And one of my teachers, she said, in difficult conversations, a phrase that you can use is like, oh, I can understand how you might feel that way. Yeah. And when you do that, it gives that opening for the conversation to continue in a peaceful way without the judgments. But it's not about avoiding the hard conversations, but it's doing it in a way that honors you and honors the other person, right? So one of the other astrologers said, during this time, these days, the intensity of this moon, avoid making irreversible decisions. So if something comes up and it's like, you would ordinarily be really triggered by it and just say, I'm out of here, just maybe take some breaths and put it on the shelf for a little while till you can really integrate and come into the alignment with your own truth, right? So Scorpio and this moon, they don't offer comfort. They honor the depth of understanding. So it really just wants us to take a look to see what's aligned, what's no longer aligned, be willing to release what doesn't serve, and to go deeper to beyond, okay, if this doesn't serve, then what is the truth? What does? What does? And one of the astrologers from Moon Omen, she talked about this concept of metanoia. I don't know how to say it. metanoia. And she said this is a Greek word that explains a change of mind so profound it changes the whole perception and it never returns. And I love this thought. A change of mind so profound it changes the whole perception and it never returns. So what comes up for me at that point, or just as an example, is, we might have that feeling that we are the victim, that, everything is being done to us. But when we actually get to that point in our life where we go, you know what? There's no victim here. I am not the victim. Life is not being harsh to me to punish me, but the truth is, everything that comes to my plate is to help me grow and to help me move forward. That's an example of this change of mind, because Once you get to that place of being, I would say, like graduating maybe out of that place of thinking that you're the victim, and just seeing that, for some reason you have brought those energies into your life for your own growth and movement forward. So in the Ancient Secrets community that I'm a part of, it's like you greet everything that comes to everything and everyone that comes to your door as with God, Goddess herself had come to you with a gift. Right? So always looking beyond what it feels like on the outer as something that might be dangerous or punishing or whatever, and go, what is the deeper meaning behind this, and how can I grow from it? So Taurus teaches us to preserve what we have been creating, and Scorpio allows us to let it go with grace. So this is the dance of destiny that we were talking about. Dance of creation and destruction, of life, death, holding on, letting go. Scorpio is known for the cycles of death and rebirth. And its highest form is the phoenix, right? The phoenix bird that actually, after 500 years, has outgrown its capacity to hold the energies. It ignites into these flames. The whole bird gets transfigured in the flames of grace, and out of the ashes rebuilds and brings together that which is still useful into the amazing new phoenix that arises out of the ashes for the next 500 years. Right? So this is the point that we're in too. If you look at it as, I am in the phoenix point, wherever we are, we're all having things leave us that need to be transmuted into light. The energy needs to be freed so you can give it up to Spirit, so that you can then receive the blessings from Spirit and bring it back down to reform it into something that really is your next step on the path. So this is the blessing that is here for us within this moon. So let's see what Buddha has to say to us. Okay, I just love it. This little casita I landed in here in Sedona had my first night. I ended up with the Golden Buddha, and I've anchored two Golden Buddhas here, one in close to where I live right now at Chimney Rock, and the other at Bell Rock, if you've ever been to Sedona. So just anchoring the frequency of abundance, of the new age that Buddha is, Maitreya Buddha is the coming Buddha who has come. Anchoring that energy and frequency through our body is igniting and activating the golden grids for the new age. So I'm going to turn off my video, and we're going to see who wants to come through and what the message is for this Beltane, Wesak, Saint Germain, Ascension Day, Scorpio moon, a little bit of everything being offered to us from cosmos. So let's go into that place of internal connection. On the day of Wesak this night at midnight, Buddha actually appears in his etheric form over a remote valley in the Himalayas where physical masters have come, etheric masters have come. There are beings on all planes and dimensions gathering around just to hear what Buddha's message is and the thought form that he brings into the physical manifestation for the next year ahead. So this is a very auspicious gathering that you can ask to go to. It happens at 12 midnight. And to receive the blessing and from Gautama Buddha. He's known as Lord of the World. Saint Germain we know as the hierarch. He and his twin flame Portia is the hierarch of the Aquarian age, bringing forth the Golden Age. And bringing us again into that great age of alchemy. Just take a breath, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, anchoring it into your body. As we open to the magic and the mystery of our own lives. It is I, the one you know as Gautama Buddha. And I have come to stand in your sacred circle on this very day of Wesak, where thousands around the world turn their attention to the day celebrating my birth, my death, and my enlightenment. It is truly a day that celebrates the process of birth, transformation, and rebirth. Each of you are in a cycle of huge transformation. For some of you, it may appear more upon the outer world, moving from one place to another, or a job, or a marriage perhaps, or a divorce. And some of you may be feeling it more in the inner realms of emotions, of the looking back over your life to see what is real and what is unreal that you are living in your life, and what the patterns have been. It's a moment of coming to brutal honesty with yourself about your relationships and about who you are and who you are becoming. It takes courage to look within and face yourself. to be brutally honest. And perhaps this is bringing to the forefront relationships and patterns that can no longer continue in your life. But this is the beauty of life. You can always make a new decision. You can always choose to do it differently. You can always choose to evolve beyond where you are now. And it's all about choice. It's about riding the waves of change in your own life and on the earth. And it's about recalibrating to the highest thought, the most appreciation, the greatest gratitude. That you can truly appreciate in every moment. Feel now the stillness of Wesak. Feel now the Scorpio full moon illuminating the darkness of the night. Calling you to go within. To dig deep inside, to find the jewels of who you really are and the gifts that you bring to earth. To find your own value. And to be able to speak your own truth without apology, without drama, just truth. And so I invite you to leave the noise of the outer world. To place your hands upon your heart and your belly. Creating that figure eight flow. As above, so below. Feel the peace that I am transmitting to you through this transmission. See yourself sitting beside me beneath the Bodhi tree. Where I sat for 40 days without food and water to discover and uncover the truth of my own being. It was the moment in time when enlightenment descended from my own I am presence and took root fully into every atom, cell, and electron of my body, so that I could both receive it and transmit it to others. And so I invite you now to see yourself sitting within the sacred valley in the Himalayas, gathered now with masters physical and non-physical, to receive the fullness of my emanation, my presence, and my teaching. As I place myself over each of you, feel the deep peace of the frequency of my vibration. In this moment, and know that in any moment you can return here to be with me. Activate your own inner peace. Feel yourself now connected to the grid of all those who are in meditation in this moment. Holding space. For Lady Gaia and her evolutions to ascend. And moving ever higher in your own consciousness and personal evolution. Call down your own light now from your own I Am presence. See it as the tube of light. Your full power and empowerment around you in the physical. And now see your I Am presence pouring out blessings of love, blessings of abundance, blessings of enlightenment. See now these frequencies coming down from your own I Am presence through your tube of light, through your soul, and into your physical body as rainbow-colored light, frequencies and vibrations. That will activate your own crystalline rainbow light body. And that will move you ever higher in frequency, vibration, and consciousness each time you call it forth. And so my message to you is, remember. Remember, remember, you are divinity in form. You are immortal, eternal, all-powerful, everywhere present. The time is now. It's your turn. You get to choose. And most of all, where you make that contact with your own I Am presence to receive these gifts is in when those moments you choose to go inside and anchor to your own truth, your own knowingness, and the peace that is encoded within you. And so I invite you to sit with me in this sacred space within your mind's eye and connect to the Himalayan valley. And the presence that I anchor there tonight. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. You are the jewel in the heart of the lotus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for anchoring this message in your body and in the earth. Namaste. And now just taking long, deep, slow breaths, coming back into your body. So we give gratitude to Gautama Buddha, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, Lord Maitreya Buddha, the coming Buddha who has come, the Golden Buddha, all the Buddhas holding space with us. As we send love to Saint Germain for all of the ways he's shown up in the world through all of his embodiments. And now how he and Portia have prepared the great golden age, the golden age of enlightenment for us. Feeling now the energies of Beltane, the energies of the flower moon, the energies of Scorpio going deep and dark and to the truth. Feeling the energies of Venus, goddess of love, beauty, harmony. All the ways that we're being activated today by all of the astrological configurations. And giving gratitude for this time of coming together, all that we have received and all that we anchor through our bodies now. And so I say to you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me in person, for hearing it on the recording, and most of all, for your willingness to be an embodiment at this time as an agent of change, as the divine alchemist, working the alchemy through your body on behalf of all the year's evolutions. And we say yes, 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 and thank you, thank you, thank you.